As the fight for their lives continued, the heroes battled fiercely against the dark agents of Belcora, while Izori and Raphael's fates were being influenced by great and mysterious powers. When Izori made her final decision, her patron, the Spinner of Threads, used its unfathomable power to switch her place with Raphael. What's more, and to the extraordinary surprise of the Urdefon war chief and the ghost of Belcora, Ruff's gear and weapon were returned to him, along with his taking of the emerald lens of the Gauntlight. The ghost of Otari stretched his presence into the void energy of the Gauntlight at the most opportune moment, and guided Raphael to strike out at spectral creatures within in an effort to aid Otari in the inevitable attack. And as Raphael surfaced upon the altar that Izori had once laid, bound and tortured, he stepped into the fight to aid the other heroes in their battle. With all his efforts, he intervened to save the lives of his friends. But he could not save Lump, whose fate was sealed by the effects of the infernal contract that had brought them closer, much closer, to death. And our Salucel was no more, twice over again. Izori joined the River of Souls with her lost love, just as she had always planned, and Lump would see through their final obligations, twice damned, and now unblessed.
Yo, what's up, listeners and party people in the motherfucking audience? Welcome back to Stemming the Tide. And you know what? Big up yourself. Big shout out. Shout out to Jake, my cat. It's his fucking birthday today.
Aww.
Happy sweet 16, buddy.
Oh, old man Jake.
16.
16 is incredible.
He's an old boy.
His coat is still luscious. He's still spry as hell and a real rascal.
Yeah, no, he walks in and out of that room like 6 times a recording.
That's right. He's all fired up all the time. Anyways, I brought him home a bunch of shit, treats, toys. He's all hopped up on lines of catnip. And he's having a real nice time.
Awesome.
Which brings me to my intro banter. So,
How did you come up with the name Jake?
that was already his name when we got him. So, Jake the Snake. So,
We should have an intro banter about pet names someday.
well, it's similar to that. You guys either have pets or have had pets. And you know what I was just thinking about is, what is your pet's voice like in your head?
Oh no!
You ever thought
I'm
about
taking down
that?
this road.
I'll say that Jake's voice in my head is kind of high pitched, but he kind of talks like too short. He's like, "What's up, motherfucker?" And but more high pitched like.
Like MC Chris?
No.
Was that catnip actually peyote and you're both fucked up?
That's
Yeah, so Vincent, the orange tabby that I have, is definitely kind of stereotypical, just Italian dickhead, likes to get into fights, likes to just like saunter around like a real piece of work. Very sweet and affectionate at the same time. And then Icy the pit bull is definitely like just very prim and proper, like English lady. And I don't know why, but just the way that she will, like, if I tell her to stay, like I will, if I forget to tell her to, like, you know, good girl, you can go, she will just sit there for like 10-15 minutes, like just staring at a wall. And I don't know why, but that's, yeah, I guess those are the two. And then I had a dog named Diesel, and obviously sounded like Vin Diesel. Also, that's why I named my cat Vin, because it was at the same time I had Diesel, and so I'm just a real piece of shit.
Just 2 times familia.
Yep.
Nice.
Look, you went real hard against the Italians in that one. I don't know. That didn't seem fair, Cam.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. They'll forget about it.
Maro.
James, do the piggies have voices?
It's just the one now, and no, I don't really anthropomorphize my animals in that way, but I've been thinking about it since you asked, and I think I've decided it would be Mike Myers doing a bad impression of Sean Connery.
Nice.
Shrek?
Nice.
Shrek. Oh god.
Not quite
Sounds
Shrek.
like Shrek.
Like really easing into the like the Sean Connery kind of lisp.
Oh my god.
Because his name is Roger Moore.
Right.
There you go. Okay, Freeman, I believe you've mentioned a family dog in the past that you were...
I have had so many pets growing up. I miss
Killed them
having
all,
a pet. So I'm not going to tell you I had voices for all of them. It would be impossible for me to figure them all out right now. However, there was a long period where my mom had 3 cats, and these 3 cats had such strong, distinct personalities. And my very good friend Mitch and I would hang out and play Halo in my mom's basement all the time. And we had this like running gag and like, you know, like a late night teletoon or like late night Comedy Network short cartoon. We had like episodes we had like written in our heads of these cats with voices and characters. And we had a weird trend of naming our animals and then not calling them those names. So these cats were Snuffy and Scampy, who we've referred to as Nuffers and Pig. And they were sisters. And then there was another one that we called Cinders, but we actually just called her Puds or Pud. And Pud was like, this is going to be funny. Pud was like an Italian mafia assassin.
Nice.
This seems a little hypocritical to come at me.
Yeah.
I know. And her whole thing was like, Mia Pud, I'm going to take you down. And she would talk like that. And she was always hiding in some corner and like attacking and like sneaking up and attacking the other cats. And because she was doing it the whole time, Pig was always a little bit kind of nervous. And so we just assumed Pig was running around always going, ah! Ah! just screaming. And then Nuffers was honest to goodness. She was the runt. She was the cutest thing, but honest to goodness was not all there. She just was not all there. It's the best way I could put it. I'm trying to be gentle here. She was not a smart cat. She did some really weird mannerisms. So she would always talk like, my name's Nuppers, and I like cheese. Nuppers. And she'd always be laughing like that.
Wow, who knew this was the perfect question for Freeman?
You gotta
And we had
revive
so
some
many-
of these characters.
So many skits that we would do, and there was one we had this. If I'm gonna try and do it justice here, but my mom had this like goofy looking moose statue on our back deck, like just like a foot tall or something. It was real cartoonish, and we had this idea in our heads where Nuffers is in front of the moose statue, going, "Say moo, say moo," and then Puds would walk by and he'd be like, "Nuffers, you know that moose don't say moo, right?" And she'd be like, "Yeah, I know." Turn back to the moose. Say moo. Say moo. Stupid horse. And then walk away.
Jesus Christ. This is like peak 2002 Adult Swim bullshit.
Exactly.
Oh.
Like something so fucking stupid. We had a million of them.
Holy listeners, what a ride. Dunk, I don't know if you have pets, but I know your parents have dogs.
Yeah, I mean, like James, I don't really give animals too much narrative agency, I guess. But we did have a cat when I was growing up that was just an absolute menace, and I can just thinking back over the pets that I've had over the years. Yeah, that one sticks out as she definitely would have just been constantly shrieking like Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove.
Nice.
But yeah, otherwise, I mean, they're kind of just, I like to more imagine them, I don't know, kind of wordlessly going about their deliberations, and I can vibe with that.
Word up. All right, well, speaking of voices that we don't know, let's all try some new ones.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No. Oh no. Not a bad segue, Scott. Not a bad one. Not.
You ready
not-
for a
not
third
bad.
voice that's exactly the same as two of the other ones?
You
Oh,
better
was that
give
too
a
loud?
lift on this at least.
Oh, I'll lift.
or give me something smoldering and smoky. Let's switch gears, everyone. Scoot has played the card. We are no longer with our regular characters for the time being because something else is happening after all of that anime Raphael shit happened. Or, sorry, I should say, whilst all of that Raphael anime shit happened. And we need to explore it. I hinted at it 2 episodes ago at the very end when the fate of Ruff was quite uncertain. But should we open up this, or were we to open up this scene like it was a film in a way, you'd see this nice big long shot over the horizon of the cliffs of Otari facing the land, and you see the giant's wheel slowly turning with the tide of the Osprey River. And along the road, we have a rather strangely anthropomorphized horse woman trotting along in the early dark morning. It is early morning, about 5 a.m. or so, and Narala is returning from a delivery to Absalom. She has a not much to return with, so a rather light load, a couple satchels. And as she is coming down the road, she spots one Clort Hengist at a distance at the giant's wheel, and he spots her. And there is an ominous sort of vibe to the whole area because the light at the lighthouse has been growing and growing and growing. There are thick, dark clouds rolling in from the sea. And not just that, but a thick, thick fog. A big bank, a big wall of fog rolling into Otari proper from all along the shore. It will soon engulf the coast. And as there is this moment, this pause, a courier from Galentine Deliveries comes running up the road. And running up the road towards Narala, stops quickly, gives her a nod, and continues on their way up to the giant's wheel and runs up to Clort. It is early morning, and let's go. Who's playing Clort today?
That'll be me.
James. You have, as Clort, come to get the day started, but have found a great much fewer workers than normal. You would have a reasonable team getting this wheel started at this early in the day, but not many have showed up. The courier approaches you and quickly hands you a letter before dashing back to town. Assuming you open it. Dramatic pause.
Yeah. Sorry.
Very dramatic
Episode
pause.
I don't know why you were waiting for an answer for that. It seemed like that was the only possible avenue.
I was just leaving a breath to see what happened, but nothing happened.
Both of you know I cannot read a word, and you rip it up.
Clort hops on Narala's back and they head out to Absalom.
And she loves that.
Fuck it.
Let's get the fuck out of here. Now you open this letter, and it is a quick letter from the barracks, from the garrison, I should say, and it is signed by both Osif Minhimus, the mayor, and Captain Lardis Longsaddle, stating that they have issued a curfew in town, and all citizens who would normally get up at this time are being stopped by patrolling guards and told to go back to their homes. And the Giant's Wheel, who is owned by Menhimes, will not operate today. You are to send the workers home and go home yourself.
Aye, boys. Boys. Boys, look at me.
What is it, boss?
Boys.
What is it, boss man?
We're all going home.
Are we getting paid?
Mayor's shutting her down for the day.
Oh.
But I'm on double time.
Huh?
I need my overtime hours, guys. Come on.
Rabble.
What? Other ear.
I didn't even get my lunch break yet.
Huh?
Clort yelling over the din of the Giant's Wheel. It's a very loud lumber mill, and he's grown a bit hard of hearing over many years working there, but perhaps also over many years of his past. Who remembers what Clort's past was?
Ooh, me.
Talked about this fairly recently.
Gladiator.
Gladiator. He was a champion at the Aurorium and Absalom, amongst many roaring crowds. So you usher the workers home.
This better not come out of my vacation time.
What?
The perfect manager.
We better unionize.
Yeah, you better unionize quick. And so people pack up their packed lunches and head back into town. And as they do, you can see Longsaddle and a retinue of soldiers coming out the front of the city across the bridge and making the long route over towards the graveyard, where the original first wave of the Gauntlet occurred, all the way back in Chapter 2. Episode 11, I think? Long time ago.
Definitely not chapter 2.
It was it technically was the beginning of Chapter 2, even though you hadn't gone into the second.
Oh,
my
chapter
God.
2. Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking book 2.
No. And Narala sees this, but perhaps I suspect is waiting for the workers to finish their way into town, standing a bit vanguard in a way. She is a very capable warrior who will be played in the arguably capable hands of who today?
That will arguably be me.
Okay. Clort, you walk down the road from the mill to where Narala is. The floor is yours between the two of you. Bearing in mind that this tense atmosphere has been over Otari for days now. That light has been growing, and for a month, Otari has been preparing for something like this. Something that now you feel is imminent, based on that call from Longsaddle and Menhimes.
Seems like today's the day.
What?
Nor-
Sorry.
Norella just nods. She gets out a sling that is the shape of a giant jaw and stares towards the lighthouse. Guess it is.
She strikes a rather stoic figure in my imagination.
Oh yeah, she's determined and not giving up much emotion.
You travel down the road together, and as you do, coming across the bridge from the town is a new face in town. I say face, strangely, because it is a woman in a dark cloak wearing the silver mask of a sparrow. And this character, this person, was featured briefly in the episode 100 epilogue. They have been on a search of sorts for someone. Does anyone remember who that someone is?
Best guess is Talford.
Yep.
Telford's stanky ass.
Indeed.
Always Telford's
Indeed.
stanky ass.
And has had little luck so far because the trail seems to have ended cold here in Otari, with some evidence of Talford's presence, but has not been able to track him down. Who's playing this sparrow-masked creature today?
Yo, yo.
It'll be old Scooty Boy. What this character, known as the Good Sparrow, has experienced so far in Otari is a remarkable sense of community and coordination that impresses her very much, because she, coming from Absalom, is exactly the sort of thing that she fights for and hopes to see more of. Wants that for more people where it's most difficult in the large city. And she sees the stoicism of Narala, and she sees the very capable gait of Clort.
I think there's maybe a little bounce in Clort's step today.
Okay. Oh, yeah. There's a little.
I think
excitement?
he's excited. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know how often he gets to like unleash in a fight, and I think he's just pumped to test his prowess for the first time in what might be years.
Putting the Glad in Gladiator.
Roll me a D100, James.
Nice.
16.
Don't get mad. Get Gladiator.
Well, now I'm mad.
There sadly is no underground fighting ring here in town, not even at the Crook's Nook, so he doesn't get to unleash it very often.
Yeah, that feels right. Otari doesn't feel like they've got like an underground dogfighting pit.
No. I was only going to give it to you on a 69 or an 86.
Smart.
Okay,
Yeah,
hold on.
but,
Hold on.
Yep.
Are you
Yeah.
telling me that a lumber town in medieval times doesn't have a fighting pit anywhere?
Not in Otari.
In
Okay.
Otari.
Maybe at one of the lumber camps, so they like to let off steam, but Clort doesn't make it out there very often.
Okay.
He's busy managing the wheel.
I'll take it. Sorry for jumping down your throat.
Yeah, no, it's...
Crook's Nook doesn't have an underground gambling ring with Yin Yasmir getting a little of that act.
Whether or do they not isn't up for debate. What's up for debate is Clort's participation in said underground rings. And as upper management, he needs to set an example.
Yeah. Come
Whereas
by on
Scott-
Tuesday for halfling wrestling.
Whereas Scott has been trying to start his own fight club in the sewers amongst the Vancouver Water Department for years now. And
That's
he's
right.
disappointed. I understand. The Good Sparrow approaches Narala and Clort. What say you, Scoot, as this creature, as this character? Bearing in mind that you would love to participate and help and aid in some way.
Hello. I am new into town, and I'd like to join you in the defense of Otari. You two look like you could be warriors. Is that true?
Not in either case, I reckon, but you're welcome to join. We're heading to the front. I think, well, that's where we've been posted. Many
Norella
hands
nods.
make light work, right?
Very true. Thank you. My name is
Huh?
Freeman. Point of order.
You can't keep laughing at it, Freeman.
What's
gonna be funny
Good
every
Sparrow's actual name? I forgot, and it's not on my character sheet.
Oh, I never told you.
Yes, you did. It's in episode 100 epilogue.
Sure didn't.
Come on, man. You gave an... I just can't look it up right now.
No, it's never been revealed.
Fine.
It's literally never been revealed. When
Run it
Cam
back.
came to visit, there was a conversation about it, and either Cam or James messaged me secretly with their guess of who Good Sparrow actually is, and they were correct, whoever had done it, but I've never revealed it.
Belcora Horovix.
Oh, you nasty.
You know, obviously, we're doing something very different right now because no one made their own characters. I'm feeding you their personalities. This is a very different episode, and I don't want it to drag on too long and forever, but I want it to be kind of fun and weird and mysterious. So you don't know who your own character is, Scott.
My name is Sparrow. Good Sparrow. And I've come from Absalom. Many thanks for allowing me to join you. And with a whip of her cloak, she turns on her heel and walks with you.
You might not want to be thanking us just yet. There's a real possibility you don't live to see the dawn. There, Sparrow, no matter how good you think you are.
This wouldn't be my first time running up against danger, fighting for my life. But truly, this is what I live for. To defend the people. The good people.
Nirala shrugs. Good enough.
I think we're gonna have a good show today then, Sparrow.
Yes, I do believe so from all that I've heard. May I ask you, have you seen someone in town? A man, half-elf like myself, white hair, smoking cigarettes, and running like a rank dog.
Nay, I mean no.
Oh boy.
That
Freeman's
might
gonna die.
objectively be not true at this point.
Nirala probably maybe, but not likely because she comes and goes a lot. Clort,
There was a scene, I believe, in the woods where Nirala encountered Talford.
nope.
Okay.
Not that I recall writing.
Listeners, phone in.
Yeah, send us a fax. Send us a fax.
Somebody encountered Talford in the woods.
Maybe.
Okay.
It wasn't me. But I got you.
Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't.
Now that I think about it, maybe.
So that's a no then.
No, I'm sorry.
I don't make it into town much. Nirala here, she sees all comes and goes just like me, but half-elf with white hair is not exactly an apt description, nor is a cigarette-smoking male. You could be describing half my crew. Oh,
Well, all of that and rank like a dog.
again, more than half my crew.
Duncan, roll me a D100.
Okay. 79.
Nirala.
I just tried to fucking Google if Nirala had ever met Talford and realized that I'm a fucking moron and we're not that famous. Nor would that episode even be out yet.
You just chat GPT'd it.
I think so.
It's actually how Freeman's been GMing this whole campaign. Chat GPT.
That'd actually be a pretty fun experiment.
What happened to Belcora?
Nirala may have witnessed some of the destruction left behind when Talford came here. There was a trail that the Good Sparrow followed, but there was trashed inns with dead people and stuff. Like you might have come across one or two of those, like lumber camps that were destroyed. But whether or not that sparks a thought in your head for this question is up to you.
I mean, if she hadn't met anybody at those camps, she wouldn't have gotten word that there was. I don't know how she would have made the connection.
And Good Sparrow hasn't exactly given too many details, at least not from that trail. But
Mid Sparrow.
Nice. Good character voice, though.
Nice.
So you find yourself with a new companion of sorts, and you've been more or less instructed to head home, Clort, but you seem to be under the impression that home is on the front, as you said. And because, I mean, let's be honest, Clort going to do what Clort wants. And as you are sort of talking, convening, you can hear or see some of lights turning on in the town, and there's movement of guards like going to said lights. You can hear a small bits of conversation and way in the distance of the empty town. It's like normally it would start to bustle almost right now, but it's still quite quiet because people are being told turn the lights out, go back inside, and the lights to that. And this fog is rolling in more and more and more and kind of coating the town. And from where you're standing outside of town, you're still kind of up above on the sort of cliff. And so you get a good view of the town.
Because turning your lights out against the fucking abomination vaults is going to help. It's not the fucking Blitzkrieg.
They're not worried about the light from the lighthouse, Scoot. They're worried about what the lighthouse brings and whether or not those things will be attracted by such things. They don't know. Precautions are precautions.
Could be a bunch of Mothras.
Could be. Exactly.
Just a bunch of jack-o'-lanterns lining the streets to ward off evil spirits.
Good Sparrow would love it if there were a bunch of moths.
As this all rolls in, you can see the slow turning of the lighthouse. The light, this sickly, vibrant blue, just flashing around. And as it flashes around towards the shore, it just butts up against the fog. And but it seems as though it pushes through just a little bit further than it should. And that is when everything seems to go eerily quiet. Not an early morning cricket, not an early morning bird searching for the worm. Silence. Moist, cold fog. And the light stops where it is and abruptly shifts back to where it once aimed before, and aims itself down with a stark, strong beam straight into the graveyard. What do you do?
Take off running.
With a flourish, the Good Sparrow draws her rapier, holding it in the air, looking at it, feeling to draw power from it, and stealing their mind for combat.
Narala?
Yeah, Narella as well unfurls the sling that's made of a giant jawbone, wraps it around her hands, and starts cantering. Not yet a gallop, but a canter towards the graveyard.
Okay. And as you all start to march towards the graveyard, you can hear the sounds of voices being raised, calls coming out from that direction, the sounds of like little alarm bells, ding, 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 starting to sound off. Lights go out, lights turn on, and the fog rolls in over the town. It becomes harder and harder to see too far ahead of you. And you trot along this path to the graveyard, finding yourself coming up to the gates along the stone wall. You can see that there are various... there's like an extra palisade of logs built up around the wall. There is it's not reflected on the map, of course, but there's like a makeshift sort of like sturdy wooden fence that's all along the edge that leads into Otari, which the the Giant's Wheel and the lumber camps have been hard at work to build quickly and sturdily. You come to the iron gates, and you can see a couple of guards outside in Longsettle just inside the threshold, sword out, sending commands here, this way and that, telling guards to take up patrols or stations in different parts of the graveyard, making sure that they are in the positions that they planned to try and make sure they can defend the town or swarm an enemy if need be. But some of the guard, of course, is still in town. And they still have not really been able to, it's only been a month, so they haven't been able to recruit and train too many people. They are on edge. You come to the gates, and as you enter, you can see the light is focused down washing over all of this graveyard, this huge battlements. Thank you, James. There are battlements all around. It's washing over all the graveyard in this pale blue light through the fog. And as you step through the gate, Longsaddle turns to you and walks over towards you with a bit of a hobble. He's not as mobile as he once was ever since he was attacked and almost killed by Jaal as the werewolf. And he walks up to you. Sees Clort, gives you a nod. Sees Narala, gives a nod. Kind of eyes this new companion, and then just says, addressing Clort and Narala,
I thought I sent word that you were to go home.
Well, you know me, Master Longsaddle. My home is where the crowd is, and he flexes real hard.
There's a guard running by. He's like turns over the shoulder and goes and just chuckles and is like, "Ha ha, hoorah!" and just keeps going.
And Narella doesn't really say anything, but she's just looks him dead in the eye. And I don't know if we mentioned, but she's got like a kind of mechanized hindquarters from when she was attacked by a basilisk in
That's right, yeah.
in our pre-recording stuff. Yeah, so she just from one of her mechanized legs, there's a little wooden crank, and she just starts cranking it up and just looking him dead in the eyes, but just says nothing.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. She's a centaur. Her hindquarters, listeners, are like a big clockwork, like steam-powered mechanism. They're her two back legs. From Moorhen's Mobile Menagerie or something like that. I forget the name. Mobile Apparel, maybe. It's from one of the Lost Omens books. This shop in Absalom. But it's pretty badass looking. And Longsaddle just cocks an eyebrow, kind of blows out the side of his mouth, ruffling one of his the side of his mutton chop stash, and says,
All right, if you must, just don't get in the way of the preparations. And be careful how you help. And you there, in the mask. Who are you?
So Good Sparrow steps out from behind Narala and holds and brandishes her rapier, as if in sort of a salute. Captain Longsaddle, I've been watching you from the shadows, seen you rallying the town and your troops. I am here, representing those unjustly spurned, and I will come to the defense of Otari. I am the Good Sparrow, and it is a pleasure to meet you. And she bows.
and eyebrow cocked as high as it can go.
Right. Well, I don't know who you are, and I don't know if I can trust you, but I don't really have time for an interrogation right now. Help if you can, but don't make me have to watch my back or you at the side of my eye. And I'd like to talk to you after this is all over at the garrison.
You shall not have to watch your back, as my eyes will be upon it, like the majestic sparrow.
So on the nose, I love it. It's ridiculous.
Really nailing it. Really doing justice to the character.
And with that, Long Saddle kind of just gives an awkward nod and then a nice, respectful one to Clort and Narala, and turns back to commanding the troops as he needs. But you get the feeling he's ready to fight, but he's not going to be much help here, and he's probably not going to leave the gate because it's like kind of the one entrance that's not over a wall or over a cliff, and he can at least make a last stand there if he needs to. And as this light is continuing to bathe over this and the tension is growing, you step forward a little bit and you suddenly realize that you can see there's makeshift wooden spike barricades and even some barbed wire that was acquired and that is placed over the graves, over the in front of the gravestones. And there are some bigger crypts and stuff like that were broken before. From creatures bursting out, the undead bursting out, and there's big spike formations or barricades over the top of them that just point down into the grave. They've kind of done what they can to prevent the dead not from rising, but from moving should they rise. And as you kind of take in these things, you suddenly hear in the distance a call. We've got one! We've got one! And another guard starts running that way. And then you hear another one, over here! Over here! And then another, and then next to you, the guard is, who's he starts looking around. He's next to one of these open crypts. He's looking around. He hears these calls coming from different directions. You can see him start to get a bit nervous. And Longsaddle's like, shape up, soldier! Now's not the time to lose your nerve! And then the guard turns towards the crypt and just gets his panicked look and starts to back away slowly, and this arm just reaches out through the barricade and tries to lash at him, but then the creature climbs up and just gets stabbed by the spikes, and this guard starts to run past towards the gate, and Longsaddle just gives him a big old trip and smacks him. He falls to the ground, knocks the wind out of him. He rolls him, Longsaddle rolls him over. He's like, get back on your feet, soldier, and just picks him up with one hand, showing his old man strength. And he just turns to all of you holding this soldier. He's like, now's the time, get in there. And that's when the light just suddenly, the wash just turns into a single beam that's nice and narrow and pierces through the fog and lands just out of vision of you, right over yonder, beyond a copse of trees. And you start to hear yells and screams, some of terror, some of anger, some of just call to arms. And we're gonna roll for initiative.
So before we roll initiative, Narala will free action use Scout's Warning, so that is a +1 circumstance bonus to everybody.
Wicked.
Yes. I think Clort will stop stretching and quick draw.
Okay. And Good Sparrow, you still wielding your rapier already?
Yeah, and Good Sparrow will reach their free hand into their cloak and pull out a Desert Eagle.
0.50.
What's his name?
Bad Sparrow.
Good Sparrow, Bond Sparrow.
Okay, let's see. Narala, what'd you get?
A 33. I think that needs the +1 on it. So 34.
Okay, so 34. Clort?
34 with the +1.
Okay, you tied. Good Sparrow?
17.
Okay, it's Clort or Narala. It's up to you. Who goes first?
What class is Narala?
A ranger.
I think
what
Clort
class
will
is
take
Clort?
point then. Clort's a fighter. Well, that seems like where the fun is. And he will triple move.
Okay. Triple moving into the graveyard. It's a pretty big map here, listeners.
I forgot Narala was large.
Yeah, Narala is a large creature. Centaur. Okay, so Clort runs towards where the light was, rounding this copse of trees to get a better view. Before I tell you what you see, Narala, what would you like to do?
I would like to know what I see so I can free action to Narala.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. What you see as you round the corner, you basically, as you're coming around the copse of trees, you see this sort of a round bulbous shape, kind of almost like bob up into view, like a shadow through the trees. It like bobs up into view and then below the sort of tree line again. Not like it goes above the trees, but it's really strange. And you hear like this like bounding, booming sound. And you hear a yell from the garden as you round the corner. This creature
Ooh.
Sweet.
What a
has
cutie.
just bounded onto one of the guards and like bashed into them so hard that they just bust through the fence barrier along the cliff and just fly over the cliff and down. Just like, ah! Wilhelm scream, gone.
For the listeners, it's kind of like a purplish frog with sharp teeth and 5 eyes. It's almost like a purple squig, but not quite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's real close. Yeah, yeah.
I think Gilda Spartan kicked one of these into a hole at one point.
You did though there were the smaller version of this creature, yeah.
I'm just glad it's not a froghemoth. I'm not ready.
Yeah, for real.
Too soon.
Yeah, the small ones are called Gibdus Bounders.
Found the action.
All right.
Narala, being well informed, will fucking turn tail and take 3 actions and run out of the graveyard. No, I'm just joking. First action, she will pick up a stone, load her sling, and then take a 2 action. Now it's gallop time, baby. Where do we want to go here? 70 feet. So she's not quite up to Clort, but following on his heels with a 2 action move.
2 action move. What was the first action?
To load the sling.
Oh, load the sling. Yeah, okay, good call. That brings us to this creature, the first bound being a flavor bound. And it starts to slowly wander over towards the next guard, who is like, sword up, shield up, like saw, through this thick fog, saw this creature, like one of the guards get knocked down over, and is trying to turn his back away from the cliff edge. And this thing basically just does another bound. It just suddenly leaps into the air, comes down on top of this guy, and is going to... I gotta roll a reflex save for this guy. And he fails, which is not good. And this thing bounces into him for 16 damage, shoving him back. And but he doesn't quite die, but it hits him real hard, and he just starts to stumble backwards. He just falls on his ass and falls down on the ground. And suddenly, this creature can see another guard in the distance, and it just bulks itself up and just shoots out this big wad of just hawks a loogie at the guard. Just a big wad of spit comes flying out, and crits the guard in the back for let's see here. Oh, I didn't. Not great. It looks like it's gonna be 11 acid damage with some persistent and splash, actually. So not great, actually, at all for the guard. And suddenly this guard starts yelling as they're covered in acid. And it's like this weird, gruesome, like horror scene, this thing bouncing through the fog. And that brings us to Good Sparrow. This creature is like moving away from you as you're trying to gain ground on it. What does the Good Sparrow do?
Good Sparrow is simply going to follow her companions, knowing that she fights better with friends.
Birds of a feather.
3 action, move forth, getting behind Clort, but in front of Narala.
Okay, joining the ranks, 3 action move. That brings us to the top of round 2. And everyone's probably wondering, where's Cam in all this? Clort, what do you do? Yeah, bear in mind some of your feats are not at all built for this section. They are they're built for what your characters are or once were.
Oh yeah, totally. Which is exactly what that is, as well as
Yeah.
my 7th level
100%.
general feat, Super Taster.
Yeah.
Quick shout out to Pavo who built Clort for this
And named the axe.
and named the axe in Clort's hand. Please roleplay that when you strike.
Oh, I will. Okay,
Yeah,
sudden charge. And he will strike out with this serrated, single-bladed axe called the People Pleaser.
Ooh, you nasty.
That's a 25 to hit.
25 will miss.
That was a 4 on the die, so that feels correct.
Mhm.
And then he will, I guess, just strike again.
Okay.
At the map minus. No, you know what? Exacting strike.
Ooh.
This is a press trait. Essentially, it if it fails, it doesn't count towards the map.
Oh, okay.
So that's a 31 to hit.
31 will hit, yes.
19 points of slashing as this serrated axe head just like tears at this thing's flesh.
Okay. Won't change anything, but what I should have done is make you roll the dreadful auras are here again. Roll a fortitude save as you came in close to this creature, because suddenly there's a powerful, powerful stench that enters your nostrils.
A 21.
21 is a failure. You are sickened 2.
I'm just gonna use my hero point then.
Okay, going for the hero point? Yeah, you might want it on
Yeah,
this one. Sickened 2
Not
sucks.
not worth it.
Yeah.
That's a natural 1 for a 15, so even worse.
That it genuinely is much worse because
Oh no.
you are going to also be slowed 1 for as long as you're sickened.
Well,
Oh,
good luck.
God.
Clort's out.
Why does this keep happening to
I
you,
don't
James?
know
What
what
the
keeps
fuck?
happening to the James.
Can't wait till my melee character gets in melee range.
Narala, what do you got?
Narala, hearing the sound of someone smelling something terrible, is going to take one move action, and then
I never get. It always happens to James. I swear I don't target him, but I never get tired of him dry heaving on my.
that puts me exactly in the range increment of my sling.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to take a shot from lesser cover, I believe.
What is this sling?
Okay, let's try that. 34 to hit.
34 will hit. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Hit it in the eye with a little rock for 13. What are we doing here? Bludge.
13 bludge. Okay. Ba-bam. 13 bludge. Anything else?
Just where is Mr. Clort? Really far away. Okay. Third action, just a reload of that sling.
Okay. You notice that the rock seems to, or the sling bullet seems to like mostly bounce off of the bulbous sort of like balloonish shape of this creature's body, and not a lot of that actually goes through.
Okay, so on second thought, I'm going to not do that for the third action and move. How close can I move here? You can't see smell, can you, Freeman?
Can't see smell. Nope.
Nope.
I'm not going to tell you where it starts.
Okay,
Bearing in mind it's a large creature, so the aura is probably a bit larger than normal.
okay, third action, I'm just going to hunt prey on that thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to mark it as my prey.
I met some pretty small and stinky people.
I'm sure you have. That brings us to this frog creature, the Gibtanius, who is going to round on Clort and the Narala in the back, who both just hit the creature, and it is going to go ahead and fire off. It's going to take this big, deep breath and line it up and shoot it straight at Clort, which just lines straight into Narala as this stream of vomit ejects from some gland or organ in its throat, just bleh, and it goes in a straight line. And you both roll me a reflex save, please.
Yeah, Clort will take his AOO as well.
It is not a manipulate trait.
It is a
So-
ranged attack, though, is it not?
It is not. It is a line attack. Mm-hmm.
27 reflex save.
Okay, 27 is a success. Virala,
30.
also a success. So 13 acid damage to the both of you, except Narala, no. You have natural reflexes.
Oh.
Becomes a crit success instead. Right there in the chat. Thank you, Foundry.
Well, way to build that character.
And then this creature is going to... let's go ahead and Jaws attack on Clort. Since he's right there. Ooh, 37 to hit.
That's a crit.
Oh, 56 points of damage as this thing bites into Clort real hard.
Dead and dying.
Oh, shit.
No,
No,
I'm just
you're
joking.
not.
That was more than half of his HP.
Softest gladiator of all time.
That was more than half of his HP. So yeah, he's a little soft.
Yeah. And that is when, from the other side, very mysteriously, another combatant enters the ring. Cam, give me some cool-ass flavor on what you're going to do.
Oh, I'll give you some cool ass flavor. A nondescript gray hooded person just appears within the graveyard. Hood covering their face.
Nice.
The only thing you can really see is bandages on their arms.
Stepping out from behind some mysterious mausoleum structure. What do you do?
Talford, never missing an opportunity to smack somebody in the back, is going to stride forward 45 feet.
Jeez.
Slice up that town guard.
From the other side of this creature, listeners, getting into a flanking position, more or less.
If there's one thing we know Telford can do, it's run.
Yep, real good at running. Is going to go ahead and cast Impending Doom at... Go ahead and do it at 4th rank on this creature. I need a will save, please.
29.
A 29 is a success. Are you CR 8 or higher?
I am.
All right, then it is a critical success. Nothing happens. Just kidding. Yeah, you're unaffected.
Okay. Not a great start for Talford, but that brings us to Good Sparrow. Still in the far back here.
Good Sparrow strides forth 25 feet. In the distance, clocks the gray hooded figure. Can't make out quite who they are.
The fog be thick.
The fog be thick. But in the meantime, combat is still going on. So she...
Do I need to give you a fortitude save, Freeman, real quick?
Oh,
Since
you
Auras
do
are
actually,
your
yeah.
weakness?
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, there's the natural 20.
Oh, okay, you're good.
Good Sparrow rolls a recall knowledge on this creature.
Okay, yeah, roll me an occultism.
All right, untrained. Let's go. Natural 1.
You're reasonably sure you could train this to be your pet. You just need a little time and a little breathing room.
Is there some sort of investigator thing that I'm missing where I can learn about a creature more easily? I don't think so.
If you are pursuing a lead, there is
No, because pursuing a need takes a minute.
well, normally you would have set that up prior.
Okay. Never played an investigator before. Dedication.
They are hard.
So, I mean, I think that Good Sparrow is just going to move 25 more feet. Oh, you know what? When I was joking earlier about pulling out a fucking Desert Eagle, actually,
Oh, yeah.
she just pulls out a knife.
Okay. And then puts it on and then attaches it to the nozzle, to the front of her Desert Eagle, right?
Yeah.
Like a bayonet.
On the Jet Desert Eagle. Yeah.
Exactly. That's how you fight zombies. But as you notice her pulling out this dagger, the camera pans across her hands. Sorry. As you notice her pulling out this dagger, the camera pans across her hands. In one hand, you notice an intricate golden gleaming ring with a square cut ruby. And then on the other hand, holding the knife, a thick, plain iron ring. But as she grasps both weapons, you just notice a little bit of a glow about her hands. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay.
And that's the end of her turn.
Okay, so that was a stride and a recall knowledge? Or was it 2 strides?
1 stride, 1 recall knowledge, and then she pulled out the knife. Unless you're going to give it to me that I pulled it out earlier.
Yeah, you pulled it earlier. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I knew what you were pulling out when you said Desert Eagle. We just never said it on air. Oh, yeah, you got one more action.
I'm going to just move forward then.
Okay. Move forward.
Like well, hold on. How far away from this piece of shit am I? I step 5 feet forward to be 35 feet away.
That brings us to the top of round 3 of this strange and exciting combat, where the light of the lighthouse focuses again really quickly on a spot not far away from you all, and suddenly out of the light forms this creature right next to Narala and Good Sparrow.
Sick.
This creature just just appears onto the terrain in the graveyard right next to where the guard was shoved off, and with it's a Drider for the listeners, with its glaive in hand, it just like kind of raises it up and lets out this weird squeal and swings the glaive at Narala for a 20 to hit.
That misses.
And then swings another time, swooping it over towards Good Sparrow for a 21 to hit.
Oh, that misses.
And then it like fires off a web from its like rear awkwardly towards a guard in the back for a natural 1, and it just like shoots this web, but the web like doesn't like fly true because this thing just sort of like stumbles on the spot and it just like lets out this weird whine and squeak and just like tumbles over. And you could see like these like arcane like wounds almost start to open up over its skin and all over its legs, and it just slumps down over the edge of the cliff and just falls off the cliff, dead.
I believe that was the one rough sliced vertically in half.
Indeed it was. Okay, so that's what happens. It like shoots this out and all of a sudden it just splits in two. Half of it falls off the cliff. The other just slumps next to it, next to the edge on the grass. And Clort, it's your turn. Slowed. And second 2. God.
Yeah. Does he get the feeling that this slowed is going to fall off at the end of this turn?
No, it's as long as you're sickened. The sicken has just like hit you in the gut so hard.
Okay, then he'll attempt to retch.
Okay, roll me a 4.
20.
No.
No, for real. Then he'll strike with the buzzsaw. That's a 24 to hit.
No. Even if you weren't sickened, it wouldn't have been doing it. Yeah, Clort, back in the saddle, as it were, but it's not going well right away. Narala,
loving being a large creature. Yeah, this is a tough one. Narala will delay.
Narala delays. Okay, and this creature is going to, let's see, go ahead and stride around Clort. Will provoke the old reactive strike if you like.
That'll be a 30 to hit.
That's going to hit.
13 points slashing as the buzzsaw just rips more flesh out of this thing.
Ooh, very nice. And this thing kind of just moves itself into an awkward position between you and the copse of trees, and then it's going to try and bounce and crush you. It just like crouches down as you slash it. It reels back. It gets all squat down on its powerful legs and just boom, jumps up into the air, lands down onto your space. And I need a reflex save, please.
Natural 20 for a 33.
Hey.
Oh, describe how you just like repel this bouncing creature as it's coming down on your head.
The way it happens in my mind is this thing just takes a bounce, like digs the teeth of this axe into it. 'Cause it's a serrated blade for whatever reason. And as it's bounding, he just kind of pushes back against it and flicks it so the axe comes out of its flesh and prevents it from moving into his face.
Very good. Awesome. So yeah, it's just like can't even get the bounce off properly. Talford, it's your turn.
I think Narella is gonna jump in since the frog thing has moved. She is going to take a little stride to the south, so she's in a line, and then 2 action activate a Trident of Lightning.
Okay. Roll me a fortitude save since you've entered the powerful stench of this creature.
The stench.
Mm-hmm.
22.
Okay, you have failed. You are sickened 2.
A 4. I'm gonna hero point that.
Okay.
Oh boy. Here comes the crit fail.
19.
No, it's still a regular fail.
Oh, thank God.
So second 2. Okay, well, whatever. But the good news is it's not an attack.
Okay. Yeah, what does this thing do?
Because when you activate the trident, the carvings crackle with electricity. You then hurl the trident, and it shatters immediately after leaving your hand, and then sends a 4th rank lightning bolt in a 120-foot line. So I need a reflex save, please.
Okay, reflex save. Oh, I rolled good. It's a 30.
Okay, that's a success, not a crit success, so you will take half damage.
Okay,
5.
How far is this line? 120 feet?
120 feet. I almost hit Telford, but my aim wasn't that good.
Okay. Sorry, how much damage did you take?
You did a town guard.
Oh, did I through the trees?
You did hit a guard.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Oh, well, I couldn't see him.
So half of 43, is it?
Yep, half 43, 21.
21 damage as you blast this thing, and you just hear another yell and a Wilhelm scream so far into the distance.
And she just assumes that it is chaos being caused by something completely different and not the lightning bolt that she just hurled.
Yeah.
That feels unrelated.
It's hard to hear over the sound. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. Good little piece of damage in there. And Talford, now it's your turn.
The bandages begin to lift off of Talford's arm, and you see these gaping wounds that look like from the Hounds of Tantalos that just never healed right. Just so many, the scarification crossing them as he casts True Strike. And then he will go ahead and unleash Psyche, and then with an amp cast imaginary weapon.
Oh God, here we go.
Doing slashing damage.
This is the cancer waiting for.
Yep. That's a natural 20.
Nice.
Oh no. Can't slowly kill it with impending doom, so you might as well just kill it in one slice.
That doesn't seem like enough D8s, and it definitely doesn't have the +4 for 4th rank, so it should be 38 times 2.
Okay.
I rolled awful.
You know, bad. 38 times 2.
Oh, you forgot what it was like to fight Talford, didn't you? Barn.
No, I didn't forget.
And that's all 3 actions.
Okay, and just out of nowhere, an invisible... Is it invisible weapon?
Oh yeah, it's an invisible weapon.
Yeah. This thing, as Clark, as you like pull this thing down as it tries to bounce, and you rip your blade away. Suddenly, this incredible wound opens up on the creature that you had no idea you could possibly cause to it. like, whoa, did I do that? Because suddenly,
Was that one me?
Oh, and as that crit happens, I knock it 10 feet away.
oh my god, okay. So 10 feet
Pretty-
away.
pretty sure that one was
butts
me.
up against Narala, pretty much, yeah.
She hates the smell. Just hates it.
Yeah. Now you're even closer. And this thing is on death's door. Good Sparrow. You are now in the aura. Roll me fortitude save.
22.
That is a failure. You are sickened too.
Sick.
What do you do?
And seeing this creature come towards them, Good Sparrow will stride to the southwest of the creature into
Flanking?
flanking. Thank you very much.
Oh my god, you should have seen Scott's face.
My brain just like
It's like a deer in the
rebooted.
headlights.
Yeah, there was a not responding moment.
All I could think about was off guard, and I'm
I
like,
heard the Windows sound.
yeah, that was wild.
Editor, please insert the Windows shutdown, just the air no dunk. That one.
Windows 95 one. Though.
Yeah, the Windows 95 one.
Blue screen of Scoot over here.
And striking out with sneak attack comes the rapier.
Nice.
There's a 23 to hit.
That's a miss. You want to use your hero point?
No.
This thing is almost dead. Okay.
And we'll strike out again with the map. Natural fucking 20. Bitch.
Get him.
Roll your damage for good fun, but then describe your kill, please.
32 as the Good Sparrow comes running around the side, seeing this creature off guard, and strikes out once with the rapier, missing, glancing over the shoulder, and then again a second time straight into the beast's neck as a gout of blood sprays into the air. And she pulls out the rapier and whips the blood off of it and does a little bow. For the people of Otari.
And that brings us to the top of round 4 when the light blasts again. This time, farther to the south, near where Talford is. Somewhere in the back, and you start to hear, you can't really see it from the copse of trees, but Talford gets a small little shot of what forms. You hear more guards start to yell as this like reptilian like tail you can see just like waves in the shadows and through the fog on the other side of these trees, and you just hear yelling and yelling and yelling, and there's this big, almost like a dinosaur snarl or yowl. Clort, it's your turn. What do you do?
Can he see this thing?
You can see like a figure in the fog beyond the copse of trees. Yeah, you can see like this reptilian large creature like moving around all alive, and it starts to like swing around. It's like a big arms and stuff.
Okay. He's going to try and catch his breath and throw up twice.
Okay.
First one's a 17, which is a fail, and second one's a 27.
27 is a success.
Yeah, second one. I'll take it.
Noise.
Let's have a sick.
Narala, you're up.
Narala, seeing the instant relief of a vomit, is going to try to retch herself. 23?
That is a fail.
Okay, well,
Real low on those.
yeah, she's not going to sit around all day trying to puke, and just going to take a 2-action stride. Goddamn, being a large creature sucks. Can I get down to here?
Yeah.
Is this a space?
That's
Okay.
space. Yeah, you're good there.
Okay, so I am to the west of Telford.
Okay, you round that corner and you see this creature.
We've seen this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the lizard we wrecked house in the shack.
Yeah, it's the one
Yep.
that should be an aquatic creature, but is not.
But isn't.
Yeah.
Because it's a flesh warp and not an actual creature. That really pissed James off. I loved it.
Still pisses me off. Why would you make a creature designed for swimming and not give it gills? Or like,
Or swim speed. Or anything.
That just speaks to the unnatural nature of flesh warping. There's nothing good
Exactly.
about this.
The one thing is true
Frankenstein.
about flesh warping. It is a barely controlled, and that's a generous term, like art form or skill set. Like
Yeah.
you don't know what you're gonna get half the time.
They're making lizards with decorative frills. They're making dogs that eat cat food. It's fucking wild down there.
Human trees.
so that's where Cat Dog came from. The gauntlet.
All right, Narala, you've rounded the corner. You see this creature. What do you do?
I free action go, oh my god, a dinosaur, and then my turn, but that was it.
Okay.
Huh?
Well,
Just a
this
random
creature
Sometimes.
is in range, so Talford will go ahead and cast True Strike. An imaginary weapon ant.
Okay.
Oh no.
Again?
Yeah, like it's I can because you're asking, I did pick up a new feat at
Okay.
level 8. It's a fun one. Basically warp space within 30 feet that I have line of effect. I can now just smash things from that far away with touch spells.
That's awesome.
Yes,
And you can amp like as long as you have focus points, basically. Is that right?
correct.
Yeah. Amazing.
And so we're gonna go ahead. The slashing's been working, so we'll go ahead and do slashing again. Attack. Another natural 20.
Quit hogging them all.
Unbelievable.
That's
Telford
gonna
is
be
back in the
100
game.
points of damage.
Oh my god. Didn't know
my
you could get triple digits.
That's still not Talford's best crit. This is what's
no,
bumming
it's
me
not.
out a little bit.
Nope. I think the record to beat is Talford's 150 or 160 or some shit like that.
It was like 126. Yeah, it was a lot. It was.
Something's crazy.
I'm gonna get there.
Yeah, you just like unleash Psyche again, or not unleash Psyche, you amp another imaginary weapon and you slash this thing, and for some reason, you, like Talford, you like probably slashed for the abdomen or something like that,
Yep.
but you're going for like a leg to like lop it off, and you see or you sense that slice strike true, but as you do, and this like blood starts to pour out of it, its head just slides off its neck, and
As it does,
and flops
the
to the
corpse
ground.
explodes backwards, and the head just lands where it was because I crit again. So it moves 10 feet.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
All in one.
amazing. And it dies. Holy crap! You have one more action. You want to do anything, Telford? There's just like now at this
Nope,
point.
True Strike and imaginary weapon.
Oh, True Strike.
Spikes
okay,
the
thank
ball.
you. Yeah, as all this is happening, there's just like pandemonium. Right now, like you fought this like frog creature, and then this lizard guy is like suddenly there, and like they're dying around you. And then now, as they die, you realize there's more zombies, there's more undead. Some of them have escaped from the barricades over the graves. You could hear the guards fighting and calling out, and as you do, the light shines one more time, but this time it's like a little more erratic. Like the first time it picked a spot, the second time it picked a spot near that first spot. This time it like waves around in a weird way and shoots the light into Otari, into the city proper. And you can start to hear yells down from inside the city. And Good Sparrow, it's your turn. What do you do?
Curse heavily.
You can't really get to the town fast, so...
Or can I?
Fly, fly, little sparrow.
Because Good Sparrow.
You can't see in town where it went exactly because the fog is too thick, but you would assume it's pretty close to the other side of the town. Pretty far.
Okay. Really put me on the spot here.
You could delay. You could just catch up with the people you're fighting with. Like,
Good Sparrow looks over their shoulder as she is attempting to figure out what action is going on to her south. And down there, she hears the combat and the spells being cast. And she sees this person in gray with bandages flying from their arms. And she narrows her eyes, thinking that this may be her quarry. And she delays, just watching what happens next.
Okay, she delays and watches what happens next. And as you hear the din of the sound in the distance in the city, and there's like fighting going on here, and you can see some of the guards nearby like turn towards the town and be like, "Oh shit!" Like no one or thought that would happen, or they hoped it wouldn't. And that's when the light whips around one more time and fires off down farther into the graveyard, where the fight with Jal took place, not far away from where the fight with the Scalathrax took place. And a single armored lone knight with a giant sword appears within the light in the midst of all the guards. It just hefts the sword with a cold gaze. And that's what we're going to call it.
Oh, shit.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Here I go killing again. Stemming the Tide is an actual play podcast of the Adventure Path Abomination Vaults and is produced by the Uncharted North Network. Stemming the Tide uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. Stemming the Tide is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. Music is composed by Will Savino and artwork by Greyhood. Stemming the Tide is recorded remotely using Foundry Virtual Tabletop. If you wish to connect with us or support this project and projects to come, we can be found at unchartednorth.ca, patreon.com/unchartednorth, and on all major social media platforms. Links to all credits can be found in the episode description and our website. Thanks for tuning in.